Esi Setianing Tias Yuniardi. I'm from English Education 2019. I would like to tell you my another recounts. The theme is about the most embarrassing moment in my life. So this is really makes me embarrassed because I have to tell my embarrassing story. Like this is a disgrace, but then I have to bring it up again and I feel like should I embarrassing myself in public? But this is an assignment from Mr. Handy, so I just have to do it. Here we go. At that time, I was only in the first grade of elementary school. I experienced quite an embarrassing moment at that time, preciously in the month of Ramadan. A month where kids like me have a very fun time. We can often meet because in the month of Ramadan, a lot of religious activities are carried out, such as takjil or killing time before iftar, Tarawih prayer, recitation, tadarus, and usually we also take a morning walk after the subuh prayer. During that wonderful month, I experienced some of the most embarrassing moments. That day went on as usual, suhoor with parents at home and went to takjil with friends. Came to the night when we were about to go for Tarawih prayer. As usual, I went to the mosque by walking with my grandmother. The road to the mosque was quite crowded. When I arrived at the mosque, I immediately sat down to prepare the prayer tools in the back row and my grandmother in the front row. Tarawih prayer carried out as usual, starting with Isha prayer first. After the first few rakats of Tarawih prayer, I felt like I wanted to pee. I tried to hold it until the Tarawih prayer was over, because at that time, no one of my friends could accompany me to the toilet. But I couldn't hold it any longer. Maybe it was because I drank too much when breaking the fast. Suddenly, I felt my pants wet. Right, I peed where I stood. I panicked so much because I didn't know what to do. Whether should I leave the wet place without cleaning it or tell my grandmother if I peed. Since the distance between me and my grandmother was quite far, I couldn't do the second option. It didn't take long before the person next to me, my neighbor, saw the wet bottom of my cloak prayer. She knows that I peed. She immediately told me to go home. I was very embarrassed and immediately cleaned my prayer mat and ran to home. I did not tell my parents about it. I was the cloak prayer by myself. But I thought my parents would find out about the incident from my neighbor. I also had another embarrassing moment when I was in elementary school too. It also happened during Tarawih prayer. When the atmosphere was quiet, I accidentally farted very hard. Maybe everyone in the mosque could hear my fart. I was embarrassed and panicked. People immediately stared at the source of the sound, which was from where I was sitting. They asked me if I farted, but with an innocent face, I replied that it wasn't me. But I'm sure people already knew that I was the one who farted. Isn't it a very embarrassing Tarawih prayer moment? That's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.